Okay, welcome back to your first Chrono Trigger speedrun. All right, we did Dragon Tank, we did Yakra, we're in the future. So there's only going up from here. All right, our first place we're gonna go is Site 16. Before we go in here, there's a timing thing involved, and so I'm gonna demonstrate it. I wanna talk about it first. There are two encounters in particular that you can bypass by stacking text boxes. So what we do is we pick a chest and then we let a rat steal from us. And so you have the chest dialog box and then you have the rat stealing dialog box kind of stacked. And when I say stacked, it just means like right, like they happen really close to each other. At that point, you would bypass the encounter as those text boxes are kind of starting to go away. So, for example, if you just picked the chest and you went across the encounter, you'll get the encounter. So you have to have both of the text boxes queued up before you can make that happen. So we do this twice in this zone coming up. And it just so happens we need the items in the chest that we're picking as well. Both of these encounters, I should mention, are skippable without doing this. It's just a little bit longer. So yeah, so I guess I'll show how it's done, and then I'll show you like the backup route as well. But the worst case scenario is you take the encounter, you escape it. It's just a little bit of time loss. It's not the end of the world. So, all right, going in. So we skipped that rat. We're coming up to this chest. I'm gonna pick it. The rat's gonna steal, and then we just bypass that. So that's it. That was the whole spiel there. Let's do it again. That was too fast for you. I'm going to show what happens if you say just pick the chest. You only had one text box, so you got the encounter. So we're just going to escape it. No big deal. But yeah, that is the basics of this thing. It does take some practice. Like I said, there is a timing to it. You'll see me pause so the rat doesn't steal. You'll see me pause before I pick the chest. And so you can pick the chest, hit the rat, within each other's timings there. Now, the backup route here is you could do this. And you can bypass that encounter that way. But we need the item that's in that chest. So if we were going to do this, let's say you pick the chest. Oh no, the dialog box. Dialog box once it went away. We got the steal. Oh no, now we can't skip this. Okay, well you can still come all the way around here and get around that encounter this way. So yeah, so that's kind of the backup. Obviously it's a lot slower to have to walk all the way around because we do need that chest. This one is easy enough. We come through here. That rat we don't care about. You can, if he steals or not, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, these guys we just completely come around over here. If you come up too close over here, actually, how much can we get around these guys? Okay, you can there's a lot of room. I don't know where the trigger is here. It might just be directly on those guys. Anyways, we tend to be just moving right along here. You're gonna come up here, and then the safe thing to do would be like rub up against the top here before coming up to this chest. We do want this chest too. This is Silver Sword for Chrono later. But if you do this too sloppily, you get this encounter right here. It's very long. You're waiting a long time for these guys to show up. All right, but you can escape it if it happens. But yeah, the key there is to kind of be in this area. I've come in here and done like, you can come down a little bit. How far can we go down? But we already got the encounter, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's a little leeway there, but it's safest to be up top. All right, then we're gonna come up here. We don't care about that rat, whether he steals from us or not. This rat is on a timer here. Ideally, you want to be moving towards the chest after he has moved, so we can get here to the chest before him. Because if he steals from you, he runs away and then your text box is gone. So the proper way to do this is we kind of wait till he's in this vicinity. We'll pick the chest, we'll get the steel, we'll run over here, and then it's right in between here that you can just completely bypass. You don't have to do that. That's the fastest little route there. Yeah, let's do one more time. There's a lot to this screen. It's a very fast screen once you get the hang of it, but yeah, it's there's a lot to process and explain here. So all right, going here, popping through there. I don't care if this rat steals from us or not. I'm going a little bit down. I'm grabbing that rat. Okay, we're on the good timing here. And then I would immediately do the thing there. Now I want to show what happens. Maybe you're running late. Oof, I almost got it. Maybe you're running late and he's over there. You can pop up here and then go over here and then pick the chest and then go through here. You also can go around. So this is the backup for this one is a little tight, but you can kind of go around this way. So yeah, so if you miss it, it doesn't work out, you can still hit this one, avoiding that encounter. It's still faster than if you got the encounter to kind of go around that way. All right, I believe this one you can slide right through here, but I think if you walk up directly into this, there's a trigger maybe. Could just be a, okay, no, I guess all these triggers are actually more about bumping into the mobs. Interesting. So yeah, don't bump into the mobs. Yeah, this is where you live right here. And then this last rat here, it's fine. All right, our next screen here is these little ghost guys. All you gotta do is hold diagonal down and right, and then over, and then down. This one, you just wanna make sure you come down far enough. You don't have to come all the way down, but it's safer to do so. There is some leeway there. Oh, yep, there it is. There's a little bit of leeway there. But yeah, you know, all these are escapable. It's not the end of the world if you get them. It's not like Tyranno Lair is probably one of the worst places because they're not escapable. But yeah, most of these are just escapable. All right, coming up here, this is weird. Like, you would think that you want to be as far away from this guy as you can, but to skip this, you actually want to go around towards him. In fact, how close can you get to him? Yeah, pretty close. So the trigger is on the right side of this little fire hydrant thing. Yeah, I actually cannot trigger him here at all. That's kind of funny. So yeah, so anyways, it's just about going to the left there. And then you're through. Welcome to Site 16. Have fun practicing that. It's a fun one once you get it. It feels really good once you get it. Okay, next menu. This is, we just picked up a bunch of gear in there. We picked up a berserker ring, a silver sword, a silver bow. All gonna be important later on. And in fact, some of the stuff right now. So before we go into Aris Dome, we're gonna do an equip for Chrono. We're gonna RB over to Marley, do her new equip, the silver bow. Gonna pop out, pop back in, inventory, shelter, pop out. And you know, if you're fast enough, you're popping out even before the shelter finishes its animation. Pop in one last time, just settings, and again you go up, up. Don't go down, or it's a lot more inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. In, down, and then this. I remember I said we were going back to Battle Speed 3 after Dragon Tank. So this is Battle Speed 3. Now, for learning purposes, you might want a little more time for Guardian. This is for the Guardian fight coming up. So you can safely do these on 4, 5, 6. It's totally fine to learn it. But yeah, eventually you want to work up to Battle Speed 3 again, and that'll be a good way to go. All right, so we're coming in here. There's some story triggers here. We're meeting some people from the future. They're all kind of like derelict and stuff. This is 7 text boxes here. And then you can move again and move down to the stairs, and then you'll have more text boxes before it lets you go down the stairs. All right, and then we're immediately going to go up to the ramparts and right into the Guardian fight. So I guess I should talk about it. So Guardian is defended by 2 bits, the left and the right bit. If you hit the middle, if you hit Guardian, well, the bits are up. Well, both bits are up. Delta Storm counterattack. It's devastating to the party. It can wipe the whole fight. It can wipe the run. Do not want to hit the middle. And if you auto battle, of course, that's the default target. So keep that in mind. So the idea here is to use Chrono and Marley with their attacks on the 2 bits, and then you use Flamethrower with Luca, because Luca's gun, the air gun, is not very good. So yeah, so you'll be you'll kind of like switch it up. Chrono will take 1 bit, Marley will take another, and then Luca can like Flamethrower one or the other. Sometimes you can, if they're in a line, you can Flamethrower both of them. But you gotta be careful, you don't want to target Guardian. And then once 1 bit is dead, it becomes a little more dangerous, because so during this whole thing, they're doing like little rocket attacks at you and like little laser attacks. But then once one of them is dead, they start doing amplifier, which does a lot more damage. And if you hit the middle when 1 is up, it won't do Delta Storm anymore, but it will do an automatic amplifier counter. So yeah, this is a very dangerous fight, another scary fight. But yeah, so basically you're going to kill the bits, and then you're going to auto battle, and then it's going to count down to 0, and then it'll revive the bits, and you got to do it 1 more time. Usually, if all else fails, if things are going really bad, you don't get enough crits, then you might have to do it a 3rd time. But yeah, the ideal case is where you get to do 2 rounds of this fight. What else can I say about this? If Marley and Chrono crit the bits, keep in mind that you want to try to kill the bits at the same time. I think that's really what you're hoping for, because of that whole amplifier thing. If 1 is left up, the next move is amplifier, and so there's a little bit of a rush there to kill. If you got 1 dead, to kill the other one fast. Also, when auto battling, when both bits are dead and you auto battle, it'll count down. Once it hits 0, stop auto battle. It's possible. This is something for beginners, like I guess what I did when I was a beginner. It's possible when auto battling, if you leave it open, if you leave it on auto battle past that 0 countdown, that when it recalls the bits, your first attack is already set and it's going to go right to Guardian. You're going to get Delta Storm. So that's the main scary thing there. The trade-off there is if you stop auto battling too soon, like if it's at 1 or 2 or something, then you're not going to do enough damage on Guardian, and you're going to have to end up doing another round. So keep that in mind. I'm going to see how well I narrate this while we do it. I might throw in some ATB holds so we can talk about it as we go. But all right, I'm hitting the left one. Oh, he's got a crit. Hitting the right one. I'm gonna hit the right one with Chrono too, since he got a crit on this one. All right, and then they're lined up. So if you move the cursor around with Luca, and if they're in enough of a line, then you can potentially do this lineup here. All right, I'm gonna try to hit Chrono. Okay, that killed that one. What's Marley's do? Okay, it doesn't kill. So the nice thing about staying in here is you know, we're holding weight right now, and so we can make the next move here. Okay, and that killed. So we're gonna auto battle. We got a crit on Chrono. That's nice. Luca, a flamethrower doesn't do any damages to the Guardian, so that's why we are still using Luca for attack, even though her attacks kind of suck. All right. Oh, shoot. Oh, I might have showed a good example here of what you don't do. Oh, no, we're fine. Okay. So that was a little close on the 0 down to 0, where Marley's next turn was right there, and if I wasn't careful, it very likely could have just auto-battled on the middle there and wiped us out. Okay, they're not lined up, so we're doing this one. I tend to just go back and forth. Yeah, I go back and forth, and then it just depends on who gets a crit, really. Okay, good. And then if you can hold ATB there, and then if it kills, then we don't have to flamethrower. You can just pop out of the menu with auto battle on, and just have everybody have at it. Okay, that was it. It's really not too bad once you start to get it figured out. But yeah, it just can be very scary, and you do have to be fast. And so, like I said, if you try it maybe on battle speed 4 or 5, that might help. But because we're attacking, you don't want to be like waiting and making decisions, right? You want to make sure you are like attacking, and then if you're waiting, be in Luca's menu ready to flamethrower. And then when you leave Luca's menu, do not be on auto battle because that will make them auto battle, the other two auto battle potentially. So but yeah, that is the Guardian fight. GG's. All right, so coming in here, we got a story trigger here. They're looking for the food, but the food's all rotten. There's a dead dude in here that has a note that says to catch the rat to get the password, and that's what we're gonna do next. Got a lot of skips coming up with somewhat of some timing involved. All right, so you do have to talk to the guy about the note, otherwise the rat won't be chaseable when we come back here. So as we come in here, it'll say, oh, hey, there's the rat. Run after it. All right, so weird thing about this rat is he's kind of slow, and he slows down as soon as you catch him. So on speedrun, we like to kind of wait till we're close to the end and then catch him. He tells you the password, he runs off, and then we're set. So password on PC, this is BYA or AYB, depending on how your control's set up, but it'll tell you what it is there. For me, it's BYA here, so you confirm and then BYA, and then we get into this next part. So a bunch of skips on these next few screens. It's less about triggers on these screens and more about don't bump into the mobs. That's really what it is. So let's just jump in here. So we're going up the stairs. We're coming down the stairs. We're gonna slide down this left side right under this dude, and then we're here. So it's like I said, it's a very timing thing, right? As you come right in. But if you don't have the timing down, you can just like wait on the stairs up there, wait till they moves, and then wait till this guy moves. You know, as you're learning, there's a lot of leeway here. This one, we're just gonna bypass this robot. And then for fast stuff, you can go here, and it looks like you're gonna hit this robot, but if you if you hold up and left, you go right into this spot and you don't hit the robot. All right, then of course we got our cutscenes here, where we're gonna see where the dome is with the gate home, or gate out of here. And then Marley's gonna push a button, and we will see what happens in the future, of course, with Lavos. The other thing to keep in mind after Guardian is if you think about it, while the battle's happening, while you're finishing the battle, check their health. Because coming up here, we do have a fight later on, and all their health needs to be about 20 HP or so. And we get pretty low on Guardian. So if not, we just want to make sure we pop some potions on. I'll mention that again later, right before we get to the dome where we're going, where that happens. But okay, so somewhat of a similar backtrack here. Same pathing anyway. This screen is the easy screen. The next screen gets to be a little different. So we're going to come down through here. We're going to slide back around, and then it's a kind of a timing thing there. I'm going to see if I can pop down there again. So yeah, if there's a slide through, there's like this spot here where this guy is like stopping to fly. Oh, I didn't know he comes up the stairs that much. And so when you time this to come down here, you're like popping over here right before he comes by, and that's the same timing to just go straight up to the stairs. Now, when we're coming back through here, these rats are the last little thing that you got to do. They're often coming around right when we want to go through here. And then that's like actually a pretty tight situation. If you got the timing perfectly, you can come right through here and not get the rats, and you're like literally curving right in front of the rat. But there's a couple tricks here, like maybe your timing wasn't right, maybe you bumped something. You could actually come through here and do like something like that instead. But yeah, otherwise, if you're not careful, it's really easy to, we bumped into the rat, and then you gotta escape the encounter. So that's all. Couple little tricks there. It always makes you feel good when you're like, oh yeah, I beat the rat. Doesn't always happen. Okay, coming up here, don't turbo as you're coming up, because you will bypass the trigger potentially. And then which would be great to skip all this dialogue, but we need the jet bike key here, so you have to take this dialogue. So yeah, we give them the seeds so they can plant food, start planting real food. All right, and then we're out of here. Okay, so we know where we're going. If you're not new to Chrono Trigger, which I assume you're not, you know that there's the sewers area. We just ignore that. We don't even go through that. It's kind of optional at this point. So we're going straight to the race with Johnny. So you come up here and you go straight over, like you're gonna exit the zone, and then the robots will show up. And you can turbo through Johnny's stuff. The default is to say like, no, we don't need help learning how to ride the bike kind of thing. So I think it's like, do you know how to ride? Yeah, do you know how to ride? And say the default is yes. So we go right up to the bike, and we're gonna do this. So Johnny here, the best little thing to do here is to try to mash to get your first boost there, second boost there, and then just alternate this way. And then really, I believe we can test this theory out. I think if you do that right, you don't even have to use your last boost. And I think you're just right into the right oscillation to win. I could be wrong. But basically, once you hit like 20 left at the top there, you would hit boost to make sure you win. Yeah, but see, I didn't even do it, and you still, because of where we boost, and you just keep that oscillation. That's the right timing for the oscillation that you don't even need to boost at the end, and you win the race. So if you lose, you just got to do it again. It's time loss. You know, it's not the end of the run, but it's a good amount of time loss. Okay, on the other side, ignore the factory. We're coming right down to here. And then here's where you would, if you didn't remember your health, this is where you would check. Everybody is way over 20 health, so we're fine. It's just because we're taking this fight right here. And I think because of how things are targeted, yeah, I think Chrono's the one that takes the least amount of damage potentially. But I think Luca can take more because her target's the last one to die, potentially. All right, so this next encounter we could skip, but it's really easy to screw up if you don't. So we just gonna walk. We're running, and then so right up you get up to here, you want to hit walk, and these guys won't bug you as long as you're walking. Now here is the line. As soon as you cross this line, you can turn run back on, and then we're into Robo. I believe. I wonder where that line really is. Is it here? Oh wow, okay, it's a lot closer, it's a lot farther than I thought. Let's see. Okay. So it's like the second step or so that is, alright, if you do take this encounter, it's good to Cyclone to get some extra damage on them. And then just auto battle, it's fine. It is a good amount of time loss, but later on you won't have to walk through here anymore because we do come back here. So yeah, it looks like it's around the second step. So if you get down to the third step, it's probably safe to start running at that point. And then same thing here. If you get down to here, I usually stop walking like right here. So yeah, just gotta be careful because if you stop walking too soon, then you get the encounter. So anyways, Robo. We're getting Robo. We got to sing the Robo Rig roll. It's required as a runner. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But I like to do it. Okay, you get 2 bars to start. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. So about the time the song ends, that's why I like that, but about the time that chorus ends is about when Marley says, so Luca says, cool. And Marley's like, what are you talking about? That's not a good name. Come on, Chrono, let's give him a better name. And so that's a good spot if you were like toggle turboing to like switch to regular turbo and get ready to name, which obviously you don't want to turbo into the box. You go down, up, and then back to regular turbos there. So always want to know when those naming spots start because it's easy to like get pulled into the text box. So yeah, of course Robo says, oh yeah, I can help you get through this door, but we got to go reset the power in the factory up there. And one of you's got to stay here to open the door when the power's off. And so by default, we leave Marley behind, and so that works for the speedrun. Okay, one small menu before we go in the factory. We're going to put Robo on Berserk. So this Berserker Ring boosts defense by 50, or boosts attack by 50%, I believe. And then it, actually let's look at, attack defense. It actually doesn't show it in the stats, I don't think. Let's see. Strength doesn't go up. Oh, stamina goes up. No. No, it actually doesn't show exactly what stats are for this. But yeah, we use the Berserker Ring a lot on the run because it does about a 50% damage increase. But you don't have control of the character, so that's the downside, right? So yes, we put Berserker on Robo, back out, in, and do our last shelter. And then we're into the factory, and Robo's gonna take lead here for this computer console. We're gonna have a quick auto battle fight here. These guys are very physically resistant, I believe. So it's kind of interesting to see what the numbers are sometimes. If you're lucky, you get a nice one rounder, but sometimes you'll have to have like several rounders, several rounds of hits before you kill. All right, so yeah, this is I guess I should talk about that. So as you come up here, these guys will spread, and you just want to kind of go up and then over, and they don't really bother you as long as you don't touch them, kind of thing. Going down the elevator. And then this one, we want to catch this encounter as fast as we can. We're just going to escape it. And then we're going to catch this computer console, grab this shelter as we go down here. All right, this skip is just going up to here and up along this top wall. And then as you're coming over here, you want to kind of be rubbing up against this wall. It's not really required, but it's safe to rub up against that wall, because I believe there's an encounter like right... Oh no, it's not that. I think there's an encounter here. Yeah, that's it. So basically this, if you come in like this, then you're set up to be on this side of the door, and it's just slightly, right, pixel-wise. And so you won't catch that encounter there. So one more encounter down here. If you just come through here, you want to stay low down to the wall, and you'll skip it. This is a laser, it doesn't let you pass, so we're gonna go into this room. Gonna grab the hammer arm here, and then we're gonna look at this console next. All right, so this is a random number of this is a random number of greens here. So we have oranges and greens. We are going to take this fight, and we're going to Cyclone with Chrono, and we're going to auto battle with Robo and Luca. The things to note here are that the green ones will counterattack if they're close to an orange one. So we want to minimize that as much as we can, but it's not a huge deal. The other thing that's important here, so if I take these, like one of them is probably going to counterattack. One's probably close enough. This one, they're far enough away that it's going to be fine. Okay, and then if you auto battle Chrono, that's fine. But try to get him back on cycle, and try to end the fight with Chrono on Cyclone. There's the counterattack. Okay, that was pretty good. 14 MP left. You need at minimum 8 MP for the boss fight that's coming up on Chrono. So just keep that in mind as we're cycloning a lot. But yeah, you want to end on Cyclone there so that you're ready you're ready to hit the boss upcoming next year. Titanium vest right here, you want to grab this as well. We're going down this ladder. When I come down this ladder, I also take the time to heal here. So we're going to use Robo's Tech, Cure Beam. Usually once on Chrono, once on Luca is enough. Pop out, pop back in, and we're changing battle speed again. And this time we're gonna go to 6. What do the notes say for this? I think the notes might say less than that. Nope, says battle speed 6. Okay. The old notes, I believe, said like 5 or something, 5 or 4. You can do this next boss battle on a higher battle speed, but 6 guarantees that you hit the back row twice before they get a turn. It just pretty much guarantees it, versus 5 is a lot more tight to get that. So I like 6 because it works out pretty well. We're gonna grab this plasma gun, and then you don't want to turbo this necessarily. I like to mash this dialogue, because as soon as this dialogue closes, you got to enter a passcode. On PC, it's as easy as holding all 4 buttons at once, and that's the Zabby XABY passcode. If for some reason you're running this on keyboard, that it does not work to hold all the keyboard keys down, unfortunately. So keep that in mind, that you will have to type in the Zabby code in order on the keyboard. But yeah, for controller, it's just hold down the buttons. Okay. Coming in here, I like to toggle turbo here and just hold down. And this goes back to like, okay, we've got some stuff happening here. I'm talking with chat. We're kind of just waiting here. And eventually you're gonna have to move, and you might lose track of when you have to move. So holding down here with toggle turbo works pretty well. All right, once you're holding down, I think once you get to this point, you don't have to hold down anymore. I think it's they'll move on their own. And then after that text box from Robo there, we can stop toggle turbo. And we're just waiting for animations here before we can move. And we're going back the way we came. This time we don't have to worry about skips. I don't think any of the skips are active here, or any of the encounters are active. So then once they come back to here, this is where the boss fight kind of gets set up. So we're gonna toggle turbo here. We're gonna kind of hang out here. Robo's gonna get hit. As soon as he gets hit, you can move Chrono. And so I like to put walk on. And we want him in a spot like somewhere. This is in the notes too. There's a certain spot like there's a pixel-ish area here where he should be. And what that is that when the fight starts, he moves into position and there's like an animation there. So you're just saving some frames on an animation by putting yourself into the spot ahead of time. Once Robo gets done getting beat up, and they move him up to they send him up the pipe thing up here. Then I switch from toggle turbo to regular turbo, just so I'm ready to like turn turbo off when the fight starts. And you'll see Luca go up and say, "Oh no, and we're gonna fight you now," that kind of stuff. Okay, as soon as it starts, we're auto battle off. And then we're on Cyclone. We're in and right on Cyclone here. And so this fight is pretty simple, but it's easy to mess up. So you want to Cyclone and then hit right. So you see that the 2 that are selected by default, we need to get all 3 of them in the Cyclone, and so you have to hit right. So it's Cyclone right, and then auto battle. And then I like to hold auto battle for these next 3 fights, and then right when the 3rd one comes back into spot, I take it off because that's when when Luca's gonna get her ATB, and we want to heal Chrono here. Most likely he took the brunt of the hits, and we just want to make sure he's got enough health. We also want her ATB out of the way. It's actually useful to potion Chrono on this first round, but on the next round, you're going to see me potion again, and it's less about the healing and more about just getting her ATB out of the way. Okay, so we're going to potion. Immediately Cyclone, and we're going to, instead of right, where like I did before, we're going to do left, left. So the first one is cyclone right, this one is cyclone left left, and this will do the back row. Now we're gonna auto battle off, and then as soon as Luca gets hers, we're gonna potion again. And the cool thing about this, and you'll see this in other parts of the run too, during the potion animation, we're on wait. So we can actually get our input in during the potion animation and beat their turn, potentially. I kind of got into this menu a little slow, so we'll see if we can do it. So potion, cyclone, left, left, got it. So then that will kill the back row completely. I'm gonna hold auto battle here because I know they're gonna get their next turn for the punches. Take it off, cyclone, right, and that's it. And that is the R-Series fight, friends. Toggle turbo for the next cutscene area. So, but yeah, that's R-Series. It's not too bad. The problems that can happen there are if you don't cyclone all three, then one is left up. There's also, I believe, some counterattack stuff that can happen. If you don't kill the back row fast enough, then that can also be a problem because they can do a really bad attack that coordinates with the front row. Yeah, we want to avoid as much as possible too. So, but yeah, all in all, it's very much like cyclone right right, cyclone right, cyclone left left, cyclone left left, cyclone right. And the key is like using that potion in there to heal, and then I like the second potion to just be able to use that animation to like cheat the ATB. And then we are off to the end of time. I think that's where our adventure will have to continue for the next video.